Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi LIVENODING. In this episode, I want to continue with my explorations with Blender 4.0 and its ability to treat geometry nodes modifier as a tool. Okay, so in this case, I want to try the array, linear array and circular array. So the idea is like this: if we have like a cube, for example, and I will frame select it. If I go to edit mode, that's where we're gonna use our modifier, right? And this is the modifier as a tool, and it's hiding here. It says linear array. I just right click and then add it into quick favorite. So now if I go Q, I can see some of the modifier tool or geometry nodes tool that I have. I will trigger linear array and it crashes. Okay, I think it could be a bug, but let me try again. So file, I need to open up Blender 4.0. It's still alpha, right? Still beta, but still work in progress. It's gonna delete everything. Cube, go to edit mode, linear array. I'm just gonna trigger it from here, linear array. So I have something here. I can scale. As you can see, it's making a circular array. It doesn't really have orientations. It's always gonna make that circle without orientation or directions. I could rotate this, but in reality, it doesn't know where the array is gonna be pointing. So it's still kind of tool that's work in progress. But I can select this guy, for example, and then Command L, and then I will trigger the linear array again, and I can scale, I can rotate, I can select this guy. There is another options, linear array. So now instead of having a circular, I can actually increase the number of array here, but I can also switch. So with the switch, I have this seed options to randomize where it's pointing, and I can scale it. So that's actually like a cool part, right? So now I can select this guy once again, select linear array, scale. I can reorient if I want to manually. Select this linear array. Okay, switch to line, increase the scale, randomize the seed. It seems to have some kind of pivot, but in reality, the way I set it up is just it's gonna start from that objects and then kind of shoot out a simple linear array, which is just a line, like a line with random directions. I can increase the number of count. I can scale it. If we keep going, it's gonna create either circular or linear. So you can create a circular and then linear. If we actually manually doing it, you can see it's almost kind of like a growth algorithm, except that currently it's behaving like a tool. It's not a complete tool yet, but we can actually keep doing this. Sometimes this might overlap with another, if it goes into directions where it's actually overlapping or obstructing the other one, maybe we should delete that, delete, and then continue growing the other way around. So this is kind of algorithm that I want to create in near future, but for now, let's delete everything. Let's see what's going on. Let's try with icosphere. Let's see what's going on with this. Let's see if I could build this from scratch. It's not complicated. It's just At the moment there's so many group in and out, and I don't usually, I need to organize this, but this is the input. So I have a switch here. That's why our tool have ability to switch between circle and line. So if, yeah, once again, edit mode, go to here, linear array. Okay. Yeah, it's crashes again. I wonder why. It could be a bug. Delete all. Icosphere. Go to edit mode, linear array. See, it works here. If I'm selecting anything here, it's gonna crash. So anyhow, yeah, first its ability to turn an object into circular array. Okay, that's cool enough, right? I don't have the seed factor. Maybe the seed should rotate it randomly. Second one is the switch control. So the switch is switching it into some kind of line array, linear array. So that's really what's going on here. The switch is gonna switch between mesh circle or mesh line. With mesh circle, I have control over the radius. With the line, I have control over the scaling multiplications of the line, which is it's gonna control the end location of the line. So that's cool, right? The other one is controlling the random value to control the directions where it's facing in XYZ. That's why we have, if I select the last part of this ball, linear array again, oh, it disappeared. I think, yeah, it's definitely still kind of buggy. Linear array, it disappeared. Weird, that's weird. Maybe let's reload this, delete everything, like the sphere. What I really want, select that guy, linear array, switch, I can scale, randomize the directions, select the last part of the balls, linear array again. See, it's working here. I don't know why sometimes it doesn't work, and or crashing Blender. So this one, yeah, it's going that way. Select this guy, linear array again, switch, seed. Remember, this is actually working inside edit mode in Blender. Normally it's kind of unusual to be able to do this, but now it seems to be possible, and I wish to be able to do this multiple times so we can have like a, once again, you know, like branching. So yeah, that's really what's going on. Switch mesh circle as this is going to be like a points to where we can instance our original geometry. Original geometry is coming in from here, which is our icosphere or the cube. Could be also like Susan monkey head. You might see something here. Okay, realizes instances, join geometry. I think the problem might be, no, don't worry about the problem. Basically the switch, this is the points coming in. It's either line or circle, right? And then we instance it. We instance the sting coming in geometry, and I'm using the selection. So the selections, I need to select something first, and then we trigger. Okay, that disappeared again. There's definitely a bug. Yeah, selection points, the one that I'm selected will be duplicated as an array. and the rest of them we either keep it, or if I didn't delete geometry, what's gonna happen is the array, what's gonna happen is the whole thing will be duplicated. That's what I don't want. I just want to have the one that's selected being duplicated. Now it's working again, right? It's really weird. So I want to make a tool that's perhaps doing this kind of branching. So just a simple tools like this actually kind of help me to understand the branching idea a little bit, because in the past the way I do it, if I think of it using grease pencil, using my rather small brain, so we draw a line, and normally we want to branch. The way we branch in grease pencil, we use the stroke and use the first point as a starting point, and we don't need the end points in this case. So we can branch this way. We can rotate to any directions in 3D. Grease pencil is pretty cool that way because it understands where we push when we put the first points. So we can do the branching. If we're doing it manually, we don't have problem because we don't want them to be touching, for example. So we can do that, but it's gonna get slightly complicated as well as we go and keep the branching. It's gonna be overlapping. But if you are creating like a node-based setup where you do like the branching, you might want to start from the last points here, where you want to from the last branch, and then you go backward to where it starts. So the branching can be linear or circular. The circular part is also important if you want to make like a flower, but then you need to also care about the orientations. So I'm trying to select this using Command L, and we want to be able to orient the flower and then continue drawing. So I think this is like a flower algorithm. I think some add-on is already doing this for you automatically. You don't need to think too much. Start with the points, draw a line, like in this case we are using tool as an array, but yeah, this is gonna create like a tree or like a flower. Some app does this automatically for you. You don't need to build this from scratch, just in case you want to do it anyway. So if we build this from scratch, should I do it? Let's do this. Okay, normally let me show you something. Okay, start with a cube. We go to geometry nodes, and we want this to behave like a, instead of creating modifier here, we want this as a tool. Create a new tool, and let's start with a circular. So Shift A, circle. Let's use mesh circle. Instance on points. Save this as array tools. So mesh circle, fill non mesh goes into the points, and we want to instance the original geometry instance. And we're not seeing anything because we are currently using we are creating geometry nodes as a tool. This only works in edit mode. So if you go to edit mode, trigger the tool, okay, it disappears. Okay, this is funny. Realize instances. Okay, let's delete everything. Let's try again. Mesh cube, go to edit mode using tab, and then yeah, create the tools. Now we have this. Okay, so it's a once-off function. It seems to work. Cool. The number of vertices, we want to control that, so we just pipe this out as a group, and the radius also we need to control that, so pipe it out as a group input. This is going to be the parameters for our tools. So now create a, let's try monkey head, go to edit mode, tool, now seems to be working, right? Much better. Let's call this tool array lin, oh, it's just array tool. And we want to, for example, we want to be able to have a linear or circular, remember the way we do it. So let's create a mesh line now. We want to be able to switch, so it's going to be circle or mesh line, right? And then we want to be able to switch, so pipe this switch into a group. So this is going to be the parameter, the group input. Just going to leave it like that. It's messy, but I'm showing you the whole process, how we can make this. So mesh circle, the number of vertices is going to be the same number of mesh line here. The offset endpoints, we want it to be random. The radius is going to be how far. So this is a slightly tricky part. Okay, it's not that tricky. Just we need random value between, maybe random vector value between -1 and 1, and then we use vector math, and we want to use multiplier scale. So this vector value is going to be the directions, and then the scale we need to control using this same parameter as radius. This goes to the end locations. This is going to be the where the vector is pointing. The seed gonna go out. I want to be able to randomize the rotation of the circle as well. Maybe, oh man, transform geometry. Can we plug this rotation there? Oh yeah, okay, not gonna work. Align Euler to vector. Yeah, not gonna work. It still occasionally crashes. It's funny because it's still beta. Anyhow, let's don't do that for now. Just keep it simple. Scale, random value scale, and locations doesn't seem to like it. Oh yeah, because the ID needs to have a value. No, should be okay now. If we go to edit mode, array tool, now what you're seeing is we got multiple things being duplicated. We can switch it. We can randomize the directions of the line. We can control the number of points of linear array. So that part is cool and seems to work. Yeah, so we have control over that. So, but anyway, I'm selecting currently doesn't really matter. What's gonna happen is It's gonna continue to generate just an array so we don't have control over the selection yet. So that's why we need to delete the original geometry and do things like that before we pipe it in into this. Yeah, sounds slightly confusing, but just bear with me. This is making the tool to work. So if you actually want to see how the tool works without having to go in, this is the tool, right? The tool has nothing to do with our geometry until we go in to edit mode and then do the array tool. Yes. Array tool. The only way to actually see what's going on, one way to do it is to create modifier on these objects. And then here, create new, and then we switch to modifier tool, and then we use this we can use this array tool inside these geometry nodes. So array tool, look at this. This is an actual tool that's now become like a geometry nodes group. Don't be confused. Yeah. So it's a group nodes that's behaving like a tool if we want it to be like a tool, but at the moment it's really working as a modifier. So this is also kind of important. This is how you can test it. If we get inside, it's a modifier. But if we switch to the tool, yeah, we can control this. We can have the viewer. See, monkey add geometry and select our geometry nodes. We can see the behavior on the monkey head. So if we actually use this as a tool, go to edit mode, array tool, yeah, see, you can see it's working. Switch, randomize the seed. So that works. One thing that's missing is how we need to delete the original geometry and do things like that if we are being selective about our creations. Okay, sets. We need to read the selections. Delete the geometry based on the selection. Use Boolean math. This one, not. So I have two. The first one is the one that's being selected. That's the one that's gonna be duplicated, I believe. And the one that's not being selected, that's needs to stay. Make sure I'm doing this correctly, otherwise it might crash again. Yeah, I think I do it wrong. So this one, based on selections. That's going to be the instance. This one. Okay, let's do this. Cube. I have things selected. Array tools, radius. Now I want to select this only. Array tools, radius. Right. That guy is missing, but the rest of them seems to be coming in all right. Array tool, switch. I have a feeling that needs also, this one also needs to get in. Node must run as a tool. Node must be run as a tool. Okay. Select this object, array tool. What could be funny if it's this, we make this smaller. So start with a monkey head. Go to edit mode, array tool. See, the original monkey stay. The array being duplicated now have smaller monkey head. Do it again. Ah, okay. Something definitely, something isn't right there. Why is it over there? We need to make sure the pivot is correct. I think this scaling is not doing it. Set radius. Set scale instances. Make this smaller. This might work, this one. Start again. Monkey head, select, I have the monkey head selected, array tool. Okay, we have the radius that's smaller. Also, we can switch. Okay, let's do this. If I select this monkey head, just selecting the head, array tool again. Somehow it's being scaled over there. I think something wrong with the tool at the moment. Let's get back to the one I have earlier. Let's try scaling it here. Okay, I shouldn't scale there, and it's gonna confuse Blender. I still need this one to go there. Okay, now it's keeping the original. I can switch, which is handy. And we can select that guy. Linear array again, scale. I can rotate. Manually rotating it. Select this linear array. I don't want a circular one, I want to have the linear one. randomize. At the moment it's random. Scale. Scale. I can rotate. Okay, yeah, this is the plan, and we need ability for it to find its own branching. If you want this to be automatic, you know, like start with something and then boom, suddenly it's gonna spread and branch to the branching thing. This thing needs some kind of algorithm to work as nodes. It might need simulations or just procedural, automatically go keep doing the branching, randomize the seed. That's either one will work, or just do it manually. If you want this to be manual, it's okay, you can also do it that way, whichever you find it easy. Okay, this one seems to work. If I select 2 and do the branching, I actually have 2 things going on, and if I switch randomize, the seed's gonna be the same for each one of them, which is kind of interesting. Maybe this ID needs to be an index. Sample index, read index. That should be index. I have 2 objects being selected, linear array, switch. Yeah, it doesn't work with this. This need a value. But we need to find out why it's not working. It's gonna be slightly complicated, but keep it simple anyway. For this video, I just want to show you we can actually do a switching between 2 things using parameter, and also we can use this as a tool to create a quick array, linear or circular array. And then this is also this one. With selections, we can be selective about what's gonna be duplicated with the array, right? It's sort of working. It's not perfect. Try again one more time. So scale, switch. So at least this actually works. Okay, this works, and we can be selective with this guy, and then we can array it. At least that works. It's kind of cool that way. Maybe we need to control the instance this way, like scale instances, but let the user have control over the instance. Start again with a cylinder this time. Linear array, scale. I can control the scaling of that. Now I want to select a bunch of these. Linear array. I can control the scale. Oh no, the scale now is starting to be a little bit funny. Randomize the seed. Randomize the direction. The scale now is a bit funny. It's no longer behaving the way I want it. It seems to be scaling that way. This could also be a bug. For now, I just leave it like this video. I think this is for Blender developer. If you watch this, there's something not quite right here. Maybe my setup is wrong, but anyhow, I tried, and that's Blender 4.0 beta, and using modifier as a tool, and we are building the tool that works inside edit mode. Okay, hopefully you find this useful. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.